So we haven't gotten a new Super Mario Bros. Game in over 10 years, just a port of an older one. And the games we did get 10 years ago were hardly new, despite their titles. New Super U is incredibly stale, 2D Mario really seems to be stuck in its past, it's just basic level-by-level formulaic 2D platforming, and when it comes to these games, Nintendo seems to be prioritizing the iconic Mario-ness over being actually good. But it's not games like these that make Mario such a famous series. It's games like Mario 64, Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Sunshine. The 3D ones. I'm not being against 2D Mario. The earlier New Soup games were pretty friggin' great. And the old 2D ones on the 2D systems, I mean, they've never really been my thing, but they were huge and I have a lot of respect for them and I've still had fun playing them. They were awesome. But at this point in time, the formula of the 2D Marios seemed too basic for any AAA game, let alone Mario. Mario. So, obviously, we want them to change the formula of the 2D series. Preferably to be more like the far more unique and interesting 3D Mario series. Now, I've already talked about a game like this in my Switch 2 speculation video, but I want to go more in depth about this idea, because Nintendo really needs us to take notes and make a good 2D Mario game already. Now, a sandbox-based 2D Mario game like a Metroidvania, or what Kirby and the Amazing Mirror did, would be interesting, but I think it's going a little bit far out. So maybe 2D Mario should at least stay linear, though definitely still not linear like the other 2D games. More than linear like Mario Galaxy. Now, you could argue, since there's one less dimension to inject creative design into, that a linear 2D Mario game would still be closer to the older 2D Marios than Mario Galaxy no matter what. But I'd argue, while it would be difficult, you could absolutely inject enough creativity. To do this, you'd want to do a lot of things. For one, either remove or drastically reduce power-ups. If there are any, they should be weird, unique ones that are only used in a few levels, not Mushroom and Fire Flower. Those should not be here. Instead of power-ups, Mario would have some new action he can take, like the Flood, or the Spin Attack in Galaxy, or Cappy. Let's just say you have Cappy in this game for now. Seriously, who wouldn't want Cappy in 2D? I can think of so many possibilities for that. That would be the awesomest thing ever. The ability to capture guys would make for fun level-by-level gimmicks that would definitely help separate this game from the 2D Mario games of old. Instead of a level select map, there would be a full-on hub world. Let's just say Peach's Castle for now. From here, you would be able to choose missions to do from all sorts of different areas throughout each of the kingdoms. Mainly the ones from Odyssey, but also some other unique areas from other games, Isle of Destino, Yoshi's Island, that sort of stuff. There'd be a good amount of levels, and each level would have 2 to 3 missions to do in that level, like in Mario Galaxy. Each level would have its own main locale based on the kingdom it's in, and then secondary environment design and set pieces based on which level it's in. And then each mission in the level would bring you to the same level, but each with a different path through the level the game will make you take. Unlike old 2D Mario, these levels will not be simple left-to-right platforming. The paths you go will take you up, down, left, right, and have all sorts of different goals, not just get to the flag at the end. It would be ranging from serious, intense goals to help stop Bowser or whatever, to wacky, beat this random Koopa in a race goals that you need to complete. Completing these goals would net a MacGuffin collectible as a reward, which you would use to unlock new kingdoms and eventually get to Bowser's Kingdom. One last thing. The multiplayer. I feel like this game should have it, despite its departure from basic bitch 2D Mario. It's still linear, so it shouldn't be hard to implement. Up to 4 players, the first 2 of which should be Mario and Luigi. I've seen people saying that the yellow and blue toads are boring, that they should have Wario and Waluigi be player 3 and 4. Nintendo's argument against this is that Wario and Waluigi are bad guys, so they can't be helping Mario. My argument against that is, okay, sure, then have them actually play the bad guy role in this game. They've been stranded in spin-offs for far too long. Have Wario and Waluigi function as this game's brutals, recurring mini-bosses that you have to fight. Okay, that would be awesome to have Wario and Waluigi be actual villains in a mainline Mario game. Back to players 3 and 4, I agree that they could definitely do better than the yellow and blue toads, so the third player would be Captain Toad. A beloved Toad character who's not just a color swap, he's actually much more of his own character. And then the fourth player would be Daisy. Like Wario and Waluigi, she could really use some exposure in these games outside of spin-offs, and we've had Peach playable in these games before, so Daisy would be pretty similar. And a good swap out since I have a different role in mind for Peach in this game. And no, it's not a kidnap victim. So that's some of the game's base design and gameplay mechanics, but what about the game itself? The story, the kingdoms, the structure, what is this game? Well, I don't have everything, but I have enough to get a rough idea down for this truly new soup game. The game's premise? A full-on war between the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser's Kingdom. Or whatever the equivalent of that scaled down to like a 7 would be. This is a Mario game after all, we can't get too intense. Basically, the whole Mushroom Kingdom versus Bowser's Kingdom thing they're doing in the Mario movie. Anyways, Bowser's been going on a conquest, and he's taken every single kingdom on the planet except the Mushroom Kingdom, which is currently his next and final target. His first move to take the kingdom, which we'd see at the very start of the game, would of course be to send Wario and Waluigi to kidnap Princess Peach. Unlike the other games, however, this kidnapping attempt would fail. That's what Bowser gets for sending someone other than himself, or Bowser Jr., to do his dirty work. After this fails, it's revealed that Bowser had started invasion attempts on several points in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's an attempt to take it for himself. Cappy and a few of his hat friends, Tiara for Daisy and then 2 other hats for Luigi and Captain Toad, would be fleeing in from the Cap Kingdom after it was conquered by Bowser, and Daisy would be fleeing in from Sarasa Land, hence implementing the capping mechanic in this game and Daisy as player 4. From here, the game would start. You'd begin with Peach's castle and the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom's capital as your hub world, and you'd start out with a bunch of levels from the outer areas of the Mushroom Kingdom being unlocked, each with 2 to 4 missions you can do in each. Ones where you either fight Bowser's army to help stop his invasion, or just random stuff for power stars. I've already said this, yada yada. Not the ones where you fight Bowser's army, you'd still get a power star. They all give power stars. Peach will be serving as the sort of leader over the effort against Bowser. Basically, this game is Rosalina while we're still doing the Mario Galaxy comparisons. Using the power stars gained from completing missions, you can unlock new kingdoms. There will be 2 kinds of kingdoms to unlock in this game. The smaller kingdoms that take a small amount of stars to unlock, which would provide a few new levels in that kingdom. And the big kingdoms, which would take a lot of stars to unlock, give you a ton of new levels to do missions in to help liberate these kingdoms from Bowser, and progress the game forward. The smaller kingdoms would be a lot of the smaller kingdoms from Odyssey, like the Cap Kingdom and Ruined Kingdom. There wouldn't be a lot of them. The bigger kingdoms would be the main large kingdoms from Odyssey, of course, and then once again, notable locations from other Mario games, Yoshi's Island, Isle Delfino, Sarasa Land, because we have Daisy here, and a bunch more. A few of the kingdoms from Odyssey will be cut, though, as to not make this game too long, and also because some of them will be very samey to the kingdoms from non-Odyssey games. I mean, this game already has Cappy in it. If we put literally every Odyssey kingdom in here, this would just be Mario Odyssey 2D. Throughout the game, there'd be a bunch of cool captures and level gimmicks for each stage, along with some winding, twist-turn, precise platforming segments, often both of those. There'd also be friendly NPCs to talk to, both in the hub world of each kingdom and in some of the levels. Each level, or at least most levels, would have to feel living, or at least like a place which has a reason for existing. No floating nowhere lands, some proper level environments. This game would have a good amount of bosses. Wario and Waluigi would be recurring ones. There'd be a lot of unique ones for the Ends of Kingdom. Bowser Jr. and Kamek would both have a strong presence, of course. And I also kinda want to see the Koopalings back. Definitely not in the same way they were in the new Soup games, where they were just boring-ass bosses of each world. I want them to be actual characters, to actually set themselves up as one of Bowser's best, a good bit before you eventually go and fight them. And with actual personalities. And unique boss designs, I cannot stress that enough. No, just jump on their head 3 times and spin around every time you hit them. And, of course, the unique boss designs for the other bosses, too, of course, obviously. For Bowser, Koopalings, Bowser Jr., Kamek, Wario, and Waluigi, the unique bosses, they need to all be designed well and uniquely. So, say around here we're getting to the finale. Mario has tackled the last kingdom, probably either Luncheon or Sarasa Land for the sake of this. And the Mushroom Kingdom's taken back enough land from each kingdom to the point where they are now right at Bowser's Kingdom's doorstep. However, it's simply too heavily fortified and surrounded by too rough terrain to just walk in there. Mario's entered Bowser's Kingdom many times before, but the place has had a large security upgrade since then. But right when they're out of ideas, Rosalina comes down from space and says she might be able to set up a road through space for Mario and company to pass through and get to Bowser's Kingdom from above, once she gets enough power stars to form it. Once the player does enough missions and gets enough stars, they can give it to Rosalina and she'll use it to make Rainbow Road in a platformer Mario game. Who would have guessed? So once the player traverses the long and treacherous Rainbow Road level, they can get into Bowser's Kingdom, where they do another equally long and equally treacherous infiltration of Bowser's castle, eventually leading up to a Bowser fight. It starts out with a bridge with the Bowser on top and a switch at the end, and when you hit the switch, Bowser falls, but then no, Kamek doesn't swoop in and enchant Bowser to turn him into a giant Bowser. Instead, something catches Bowser, that something being a big-ass airship. Did I mention that the bridge was in a large open area on the roof of the castle, not a cramped dungeon in the middle of the castle? Anyways, from here the fight is a typical Bowser shooting projectiles at you from the background in his airship. Find ways to bounce projectiles back into the background right at his stupid face. Enough hits later, the ship goes down, Bowser loses his footing, and does a Looney Tune thing where he looks down and sees he's not standing on anything, and only then does he actually fall. Right into the lava. As he falls though, Bowser Jr. swoops in on his clown car and goes after him, but he doesn't get there in time. Poor Bowser Jr. watches his father fall into lava again. And he gets angry. He's seen Mario push his father into lava about 100 times, and he's gotten tired of seeing his dad get hurt. So, he goes after the reason his dad and Mario were always fighting in the first place. Princess Peach. Around this point, Peach would be on the scene to witness and possibly even assist in Bowser's defeat, and Bowser Jr. would take advantage of this by swooping in his clown car, picking Peach up, and then in an attempt to break both the cycle of Mario dropping his dad into lava, and to hurt Mario for dropping his dad into lava so many times, he ignores his dad's wishes to have Peach captured, and drops her off the ledge and into the lava as well. But of course, because killing Peach would be way too dark for a Mario game, Peach would simply hover to safety because Bowser Jr. forgot that she is, in fact, capable of hovering. And then she'd throw her parasol at Bowser Jr.'s clown car, causing it to crash onto the platform that Mario is standing on, where his anger would then increase due to his failure to kill Peach, and then draw his weaponized paintbrush and prepare to fight. The final boss of this 2D Mario game would not be Bowser. Bowser is the villain for most of the game, and he's a penultimate boss that the game wants you to think is the final boss, but the actual final boss is a vengeful Bowser Jr. The fight is a 1v1, or 2-4v1 if you're in multiplayer mode, between Mario and Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. would use his paintbrush to attack, he'd do normal attacks, and he'd attack with his shell. You can damage him a lot by jumping on him, or a little by hitting him with Cappy, but he wouldn't do a bunch of shell bouncing when he did get hit, he'd just tank the hits. And he'd be able to take way more than 3 hits here, more like 20. The boss fight would be as dynamic as physically possible. And then after beating him, you win! Maybe rip off Mario 63 and have a Metroid-style escape sequence after you beat Bowser Jr., but other than that, that would be the end. I have nothing left to cover. Definitely don't have to make a title or anything. Okay, fine. This game will be called New Super Mario Planet. A lot of this may seem a bit crazy. 2D Mario with the mechanics of Mario Odyssey, the design of Mario Galaxy, and a plot similar to that of the Mario movie with Bowser's Kingdom Invasion and the war between Bowser and the Mushroom Kingdom. But while Nintendo's been very stubborn in the past, they have been known to listen eventually. They've got to know that a hyper-famous franchise like 2D Mario can't stay stuck in the past forever. Wario and Waluigi are both famous Mario characters despite Nintendo's contentness to keep them in spin-offs, so they might decide to make them the next reoccurring mini-bosses, and that would be awesome, and they know that'd be awesome. The Bowser Jr. surprise final boss thing would be too good to be true, but I'd absolutely love it if it was. And Rainbow Road and 2D Mario, I can totally see that coming in a later Mario game. It's awesome and obvious and cool. But hey, what do y'all think? Do I have good ideas, bad ideas? Should 2D Mario stay basic? Did I not go far enough? Are there any other good ideas I missed? Tell me in the comments. The algorithm loves it when people comment. I mean, I'd love to converse with some of you. Anyway, now if you excuse me, I'm going to go spend the next 6 hours playing Mario Sunshine and dreaming of a good 2D Mario.